pray. Father in heaven, we thank you so much for the day that you have made. We approach you this evening with gratitude and thankfulness and humility that we have another day to live. Lord, you tell us that every breath we take, each day is a gift from you, and we want to recognize that, Lord, and not take that for granted. You also tell us, Lord, we need to pray for those that are our governing authorities, and we want to just lift up the men and women who make up this council. And we thank you for the work they do. And we pray, Father, you would just lead them and guide them, help them to make decisions that best serve our community. And we ask your blessing upon this meeting tonight. We pray these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Mr. Swain, would you lead the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get started into the agenda, I just want to recognize we have some special guests this evening with us. The 6th grade Girl Scout troop is here with us tonight to earn their
Cadets in Democracy badge.
So they want to witness and observe the workings of the city government.
That's a good thing.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and dive into the agenda. In your packet, you have the minutes from the August 15th meeting. Do we have a motion to approve? We have a motion from Laney. Second. Yes. Any changes, discussion? Ms. Dry?
No.
Okay. This auction, now you'd our boss something. All right, all in favor of approving the minutes from August 15th, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passed. Do we have any committee reports or department reports? Start with committees.
I don't have a report since we don't have our numbers for last month, but I would like to put down finance meeting on September the 15th, 10 a.m.
I've got a whole bunch for street and stormwater.
You have what?
That's all I
A
have.
whole bunch for street and stormwater, if you want to hear that.
Do we want to?
Found out something interesting.
Let's go ahead.
Since we did not, you done with it.
Yes, I'm done. That's all I have.
Found it interesting, we do not own Buffalo Ditch, and as a result, the state is telling us do not do anything on it. Don't touch it, the only thing we can do is mow it, and that is it. So our plan of trying to cover through Indian Park and all that is not viable at this present time. Terry, is that what you had understood too, is that we do not own it, and until
We have
they...
no ownership in it at all.
Yeah, so until they provide the drainage district.
Drainage district number 1.
Two. So if we were to take over that and start doing anything on it, then we'd own it forever. We do not.
Well, that, even if we took on something and started doing something on it, it would still belong to drainage district number 2.
Okay. All right. So we have to kind of keep working on that a little bit, see what we come up with.
Also, I mentioned, or not mentioned, but I had just informal discussion. It's also, with prior approval, as long as we don't affect the flow, we can do some improvements on it, like the trees and what have you.
Right.
We could actually,
Yeah, we can get, yeah, we
they're
can
actually
get
having a spray program right now where they're spraying the tree, the woody vegetation. So all you have left is grass
All right.
for erosion control.
Okay, and that's what we've been doing some work on anyway with our mowing our excavator. We found out that right now, this is quite interesting, that concrete is going to be cheaper than asphalt. And so if we want to get more bang for our buck, we need to look at concrete. The difference is about 19,000 per 100 feet versus 23,000 versus 19,000 is what it is. So we got to kind of reassess that a little bit. We can still, of course, we still need to do the asphalt with the gravel roads. And we've been, our plan right now is just go by our grading system and do that. We have the 3 streets that we have agreed to do already, but we'll just check our grading system and get it done from there then.
Bill?
Yes, sir.
I have a list here if you want it.
Fire away.
Those are,
All right, thank you.
those are the gravel roads down there, and those are the overlay,
All right,
and those are the grading right
okay.
there. It's a 1 through 5 grading, with 1 being the worst.
Okay, so we are looking at, for asphalt right now, Ronnie Road, Providence Road, Jackson, be South Jackson, correct?
Yes.
McFarland and Pendleton. When we get that started, we're gonna elevate those roads with gravel and try to get them to where we can get that done as we discussed for our discussion. Roads within the city, from Harris to Independence to Starnes, Harris and Independence to Starnes. That's an overlay. Dalton and South Avenue to North Haven, an overlay. Church and Willoughby to Vinson, an overlay. Horner Drive, overlay. Kennett to the bypass, dead end. Now what are we talking about right there?
That's beside the funeral home.
Okay.
We've already done all the streets in that neighborhood, been done except that one.
Okay.
That was another one, a short street we added in there to get,
All right.
we tried to keep so much tonnage, and it was one of the short streets we added to get it tonnage for last year, so it doesn't have to be on this year because we've changed everything around, so yes.
Let's see, Lee and Walnut to Vandeventer is an overlay. Oak and 9th to 8th Street, and 7th and Jackson to Main. And those are all roads that are graded 1, everything's 1 or 2 with the exception of,
Oak Street.
yeah, Oak Street, and that's graded
It's
3. And that will take care of the paving for this year, and that's what we discussed committee-wise.
And some of those short streets, Bill, are finishing out streets that have already been started, like Lee, Walnut, Vandeventer. We've already done some on Lee, and then there was a couple other ones there that we would be finishing up. I think maybe on 7th.
Have y'all not discussed this for your committee?
Yes.
Okay, no worries, okay.
We are trying to get some of this going with these streets that we've already ordered the risers for.
Yes.
And we're trying to get those done this fall, if we can do that. So what I'm after tonight is permission from the council to take bids on this. And I'd like to make a motion that we start bids on asphalt overlays, et cetera.
I'll second that.
We have a motion to ask for bids for the roads listed on the, Mr. Palmer's list. And we have a second. Discussion. Mr. Carter.
Approximately how many tons are you talking about?
I don't know, Randy. It's changed. We haven't got it. We didn't know how many we were gonna be able to do. We didn't figure it up yet. Some of them are figured there. I think McFarland and Pendleton were gonna be next year, so they're not on there. And then, I think the Lee Street wasn't on there. But I took all those numbers off though, because I didn't really think I needed them. Didn't think about it. Bill just said get some streets that needed it graded. I was more worried about grading them than the tonnage.
The total.
What we had last year came out to like 3,400 tons, was it, Gerald? 3,400 or 3,500 tons for asphalt, for everything. And that was before McFarland and Pendleton was added.
Is this including the walking trail for the
No.
park department?
No.
That needs to be included.
Okay.
I don't know how that's funded, but I know that's part of, that's what they're waiting on. That's our asphalt program.
All right.
When you get the bids, can you bring them back and,
Yeah.
with the numbers and?
We'll come in here.
Yeah, that's just
I know,
give them
I
permission
just
to-
wanna make sure that they come back so we can get them
Yes.
approved.
That needs to be a separate thing for the walking trail thing?
No,
Or does it
sir,
all
we
need to
started
be-
funding with the park department. They're just wanting to piggyback on to the company.
Yeah,
that-
but I mean, it needs to be a separate bid for that versus
It
these.
would be better to have it separate.
Yeah, okay.
It needs to be listed separately because
Yeah.
their equipment put down.
Yes.
And we're gonna try to get At least 3 bids?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
With this much money?
most
it's-
definitely, yeah, certainly. Right now, in the transportation sales tax, we've got $905,000 plus some change, and we've set aside $250,000 for our emergency fund. We have spendable right now $655,000 we plan on going with as quick as we can this year. And we'll see what happens come spring. We would also like to take bids on 2 other items. We would like to take bids on a mow crew to deal with the ditches and the different things that the mow crew has been doing, so we can see if we can maybe get that for cheaper than what we're having to do, paying out for employees. Right now, we're planning on finishing that with the street department this year, but we want to start looking at that for spring of next year, taking multiple bids.
Are you keeping the cost separate now so we can compare?
Yes, that'll be separate. And as well as that, I'd like to take bids on tree trimming throughout the city. And so first motion would be bids for a mow crew.
This for next year?
Yes.
For yard service to take over the mowing instead of the city doing it.
Are you gonna be able to get anybody to give you a good bid for this far out?
We might have to just bid it twice, I'm not sure, but I want to get it started.
And what about abatements?
We'll have to discuss that and get that all worked out.
So we're talking about spring of 24? When will
Yeah,
this?
spring of '24. And for right now, we're not talking about the abatements then. We're just going to talk about the ditches, the things that we need to do for stormwater, all that. And then as we get to the abatements, we'll have to figure out how we're going to deal with that.
Is this the committee's recommendation?
We kind of are trying to get it rolling. It's not specifically it. This isn't a recommendation, this is a feeler.
Okay.
This is to see what, if it's a reasonable course of action. Both of these things are, they're just courses of action that may save us money and may not. But we got to do what we can do to get it.
This is the highway right-of-ways, all of the city property, the walking trail, and everything that the city's on.
No,
Bush hog and everything else.
no, this is strictly for the ditches around the bypass and coming into the city, whatever is under stormwater, whatever the stormwater will pay for. It'll do away with the mow crew budget that we had, and stormwater will take it over, and it will be strictly stormwater will pay for it. It'll be mowing the ditches coming into town. It's stormwater ditches, if I'm correct, Terry?
Mr. Palmer, would you care to turn this back to your committee and for further consideration on the properties that Mr. Carter had specified?
See if we need to add those in there.
Yes, I mean, we need to, I think the committee needs to have some time to research this.
That'll work, and let's do.
And we got plenty of time. But
Yes.
Yeah, that's why we're.
To fine tune it and get it.
I don't want to go for multiple
Yeah.
bids.
Yeah,
You know, that's-
and then I would like to go ahead and deal with the tree trimming though, tonight if we can. That's really pretty much an issue that we could do all through the winter, so I'd like to get that going. So I'd like to make a motion that we take bids on tree trimming throughout the city.
And again, we need to know what
Off
properties.
off of city right of way, everything on city right of way.
Well, not against it, not to beat it down right here, but
Want to wait?
there's a lot of specs. No, I don't care about waiting, that's up to you all, but last time we did it, we had decided if we could do alleys, sidewalks,
Mhm.
how far up, by the hour, by the entire job, like a bid work for the whole city. There are a lot of questions rather than just going out for a bid.
Oh, that's very true. We're gonna have to make sure we do apples to apples. Are we prepared for that?
I would say put it out, just clear city right of way. Whatever from the center line to city right of way is, as far up as they can reach out to the road. Clear city right of way, everything.
'Cause that's what we need.
Over sidewalks, streets, if it's city right of way, clear it. And we've
Still
also
don't need to
got,
give them an idea how much area they're gonna be
How
covering.
high?
well, it'll be different depending on what the easement is. There's different easements for different streets.
That's what we'll have to.
They would have to find out the easement for each street as they cut it, but then you go to the easement, and you go straight up, and you go all the way out to the middle of the road, that's the way we try to trim it right
It's
now.
gonna be hard for somebody to figure all that out on their own if you don't have everything specified what needs to be done.
Well, I mean, we can work with them while they're doing it, it's not like we can just cut them loose, we can
Well,
tell them
for
what
to give
the,
you a price, it's not while they're doing it, they gotta know what they're gonna do, for what price, and how long it's gonna take them to get it done.
I don't know how, do you know, remember how we put it out last time, Randy? I don't,
Should be a bid, I mean, there should be a copy of the bid down there in the files.
yeah.
I think it was an hourly job,
I do too.
and I think it was, you gotta have better specs than what you're saying, because I got many calls for magnolia trees and things of such, the slow growing trees that got chopped all the way up, and
That are on city right away,
they're on city right away, but they were,
and not supposed to be.
yeah,
That's why there's an ordinance.
it wasn't over the sidewalk, it was like so much past the sidewalk, and that's why I was like,
Wasn't the easement at one time 75 feet from the
but I think we need to keep it, I think we need to keep it back in
Different
committee,
streets are
just for
different.
further
So I
discussion.
would withdraw that motion.
The only ones that are safe,
And,
it's like
okay,
safe.
let's see here. I've had, unrelated actually, I need to talk to you about a stormwater issue that we have after the
Right.
meeting tonight. And, that's it for now. That was it.
Thank you,
That was
Mr.
very
Palmer.
hard.
Sure, that's enough.
Thank you.
Keith,
All
what
right.
else, you got anything else on that?
No.
Keith? Okay.
Anything else for the departments or committees?
Mayor, City Council, two quick things. Recommendation from the Fire Committee as well as myself to go into a lease agreement with Survival Flat for $2,500 a month with a 5-year lease with the option for them to have the option for renewal after that 5th year.
How much are they paying now?
At their current facilities?
Yeah.
2,000 is the highest they pay anywhere.
Mr. Whiting, it's your committee, do you have a recommendation?
I think we need to go. Committee said we need to go.
Form a motion? Motion, we have a second to approve a $2,500 monthly agreement with Lifeline.
Do you know
this
how
is
many
you-
square feet they're renting from us?
I do not have to.
That would give us
You
price
say
per square
the
foot.
highest you're paying anywhere else is 2,000.
2,000.
Is that what they're paying rent right now?
I don't know.
I think they
All I
were paying
know
higher
is
to us
They're
before.
giving some of their properties so they'll only have one property now. Just, they're gonna have one property in.
Andy Arthur, he's the vice president of Survival Flat, and we've been in contact with him, and he has told us that the highest they pay anywhere else is $2,000 a month, but they were willing to give us $2,500 because of the utilities and it being in the building.
They're still keeping their hangar, right?
Yes.
This will be just, we don't have square footage, but we're looking at 6-bedroom, kitchen,
It's 4 bedroom.
4 bedrooms,
It's 4-bedroom, kitchen, and.
2 bathrooms.
Yeah.
2
That's what they would be renting.
Yeah, we're still,
And
I
utilities.
would rather have the square footage.
I
than
think
tell
it
me,
wouldn't hurt to put the square footage in there, just to, so we
Give
got a
us an
record
idea
of
of
it.
what they're paying per square foot.
Who they renting from? From us?
How much? From the new fire station.
This is the only base that they have that's not at a hospital.
Say again?
This will be the only base that they have where they have a helicopter located that's not at a hospital. We don't have a hospital. I know we're working on it. I would rather personally see us start at a lower price, just to be sure that we keep them,
Well, we're locking ourselves in for 5 years.
I know. but
Well,
keep
it's
them-
also my understanding, Randy, and I'm sorry, I cut you off. I totally apologize. I don't know if it makes any difference or not, but, well, I'll just read it to you here. We propose paying $2,500 a month, utilities included, it'd be like a 5-year lease with option for renewal first. Kennett area is important to Survival Flat. We've been there for many years, and remain committed to being there for many, many more. Department sent to the Kennett Fire Department, local EMS, and the community is strong. And I hope we can work out the details. If you have anything else, please let me know. Again, they're paying $2,000 a month everywhere else that they're renting from. ultimately y'all's decision, but I have a contract here for you all to sign tonight. You know, if we wait, I guess that's really probably not a game changer, but, you know, we're looking to be in there by the end of this month. They've already, got rid of one of their homes.
They've got new furniture coming.
They've already got new furniture coming, they've already, spent bootloads of money out there that we didn't have to spend, to get this thing up and going so they can stay. Quite honestly, the only reason that they stayed in Kennett was because that we extended our hand to them, so.
I don't think there's an issue or with anybody on wanting them to be there. I think that, the issue might be that, you know, we didn't specify that number of square feet and actually look at the price, and I'm still against them paying more here in Kennett than any place else, personally.
All right, so we have a motion, we have a second. Any more discussion? Before we vote on the motion to approve the agreement with Fly for $2,500 per month. One discussion that did not come up, but I think it might be worth asking. Is there an escalator and is there a yearly increase in the rent, or is it stuck at that same rate all 5 years?
No, it's there for the.
Yeah, that's where I was getting at. We're committed for 5 years for. Does it say anywhere in the contract what the rent, how does it read in the contract?
There's in there for square foot.
$2,500.
You don't specify what size of area they're renting or
Yeah.
anything?
Well, it specifies it for renting kitchen, 2 bathrooms, which is one item.
Okay, at least we got a description of what.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no square foot.
There's no square footage, but it describes the number of rooms. Kitchen, 2 baths.
Well, yeah, I can see
If
it.
it's not in there, it needs to.
It needs to be something in there
Yeah.
what they're renting from us, because they might say, hey, we were renting the whole place for that.
No,
I'm okay with the price, but we need to know what they're renting.
How much area they're gonna have?
Maybe we can amend that contract. We're going to vote to approve the contract with amendment of square footage.
There's no square footage in it.
No, there's no square footage.
It's probably between 800 and 1,000.
There is 4 bedrooms.
2 baths.
Terry, I want to look at it. Excuse me, Terry. Okay.
So Jake, I have a process question. When there are new contracts of any type presented to us for services, especially for an extended period, does the council need to, do we look at the contract, you know, as a council to review it and approve it? Or do we work on the recommendation of the committee? I don't know how we do
That's
that.
why I asked Mr.
I
McVeigh.
think it's, the better practice is to let the council see it. Let them look at the contract. Maybe some of you just want to look at, shortly, just glance or whatever. I think the council needs to have the opportunity to see the whole thing. So 6 months down the road, and there's questions about what's in it, you will have known, or at least had a chance to have known what's in it. I think it's better for the council to see it.
And the other part of my question is, for the revenue, what account does it go into? Does it go into equipment reserves or? It's $30,000 a year, so.
I would only recommend, that's up to you all, council, I would only recommend that it go to the payment. But that's going to be up to the council to decide that, correct?
Thank you.
All I see in here, it says the living quarters, the associated land, parking areas, and fixtures contained in the premises located at 1701. That, to me, can be everything.
No, it shouldn't be that. No, it shouldn't be worded that way.
That's how it's worded right now. You can hand it to Terry.
Chief Davis, will there be any issue if we table this through the next 2 weeks from tonight?
No, that's fine.
That's up to the motion.
All right, let Terry look at it real quick. That's the second paragraph there on top.
You all can Here, you can keep that copy and send us
Okay.
the revised version that you type, please, if you could.
But
The
that's,
next,
that's the table, I can't do that, that's
Oh.
gotta be up to the, council, if you wanna table that motion. The motion and second on the floor.
No, it needs to be more,
More specific.
more specific.
I'll make a motion with table.
Second.
We'll have to do, we'll have to do it.
We're, I feel like the council's in favor, it just, we wanted to
Yeah.
change the wording and have the council opportunity to read the contract.
that's fine.
I think that's
The next thing that I had, we had one employee that has quit, it was full-time, and it is the fire committee's recommendation, as well as mine, we hired Ryan Creed, full-time at $13.50 an hour, starting effective tomorrow.
Do we have a motion to hire Ryan Creed at $13.50? We have a motion, we have a second? Mr. White. Mr. Swain, just a second. Any discussion on this hire? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Yes, sir. Anything else? We'll move into unfinished business.
Mayor, I'm sorry, I just had something on the new fire station grant.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Please.
I didn't know what other department might go.
You'll be next up anyway on unfinished
Oh,
business.
you understand. Okay, so, an update on the new fire station grant. Mitzi Dale, who is the grant administrator for that program, would like to schedule a performance hearing on Tuesday, October 3rd at 5:45 for the council meeting, and she will be here. I will tell you all that the Delta Peanut Road grant just closed out, so that's, even though the construction may be complete, the paperwork takes a little bit of time. But we are 79% complete as far as paperwork. And she said that there would be about 2+ months before she closes this out. But financially, where we are on this is the balance in that is $805,626, and we thankfully have $1,039 in the account. Woo-woo. I will tell you the new fire station loan balance is $2,038,135.83. The fire truck loan is $568,471.32. And the balance in the new fire station reserve account is $133,407.32. And I believe Chief Davis and Assistant Chief Roberts had a few more things planned, but they said that cost should be pretty close.
Yeah, it's gonna be very close. The only thing that we've got left is what's already been pre-approved, the purchase, we just haven't done it for the lack of room right now. But that will probably be purchased tomorrow, and that spending should be over. I'm sure there'll be a few things, like Randy and I talked, maybe a few things here and there, little things, but all the big spending is done.
Any questions? Hold it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Any questions on the fire station? All right, item A is discussion of cleanup of the Frank's property.
Mr. Standing here.
Please do.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Carter.
Oh, I thought you were giving the rest.
Well,
Okay.
he's going to do that, but I can speak in case you want to have any questions about it.
I reviewed the 6 proposals we got from the engineering companies with their qualifications to do the cleanup of Prince to in line with the CBG grant. Okay. And made some notes for Ms. Ryan producers to look at. And I think all 6 companies probably are qualified to do that work. There's only really one that's in our region, and that's Smith & Company out of Poplar Bluff. Smith & Company's done numerous cleanups in the city of Kennett, which were listed in their proposal. But the city has a history of working with Smith & Company. They did 2 engineering projects when I was at the street department. They just completed one with Wright Acres with the street department. And I would make a motion that we go with Smith and Company for this